Hail you Baja fans and addicts. So this is my HPI Kraken RTR, and I'm just making this video as a follow-up second video to one that I posted on June 24th when I first gotten this Baja. And in that video I took a look at it new out of the box, and I went over all these parts pretty much one by one that I was going to install. So the point of this video is to just go over some additional upgrades since then. And so if anyone's interested in all of these parts, I'm going to put a link in the description to that video, which was on June 24th, 2017. So this is an HPI Baja Kraken RTR number 115485. And first thing about it is it comes with a stock 20-tooth transmission lay shaft gear. In the first video I'd mentioned that I didn't know if it would have a 19 or a 20 tooth. So the 20 tooth is what comes in the Bajas. It's a faster gear on the lay shaft, and the 19 tooth is what the 5Ts and the 5SCs came with. So I run a 20 tooth in all my Bajas, and it's a little bit faster. So, I mean, if you want to get a little bit more low end, you can put in a 19 tooth. But anyway, so enough about that. And I'm just going to take a look at the body here. In the first video, I'd mentioned installing additional things on the body, which would be a top light bar, a 3-light front bumper bar, and a rear spare tire carrier. So we'll just take a look at those here. And I didn't get any LEDs installed in these 3 front light pods. So I will in the future, but what I'm going to do for now is I have some little yellow stickers to put on there from some other lights. So I'll just put them on and get some more LEDs installed later on. So this is the light bar mounted up on top, and you can see actually one of the orange is out and 2 of the blue ones. So I don't know what's going on with that, but that's alright. And I just have to tuck all these wires in, route them underneath, and put some zip ties and things and figure out how I'm gonna do the routing on that. So, and this is the rear spare tire carrier, so that's all mounted up, and they give you this big plastic wing nut. It's a coarse thread, and I can't see how that's gonna hold up well in any crashes or anything. So I've seen other people do this, and I'm gonna do it as well. You just run some zip ties and or even like a Velcro strap or something, and to just hold the tire down. So that'll be that. But I think the body looks pretty good. That's what it looks like from there. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this off, and let me just set this aside, and I'm going to go over some of these other parts that I'd mentioned. So anyway, so the additional upgrades since the last video is a Turtle Racing rear shock mount, Turtle Racing steering servo saver, a Gabe Brown engineering engine brace, a Team Chase rear shock tower, and a Turtle Racing front shock mount, the tower. And I'd said in the first video I was going to put in a V2 Turtle Racing clutch carrier system. I actually put in the V1, but it doesn't matter. But the V2 is just nicer because it has a little removable piece here, and it makes getting to the clutch a lot easier. But I'll run that for now, so that's okay. So first thing is the shock mount. So this is the Turtle Racing piece. This is nice. It gives a lot of strength. I mean, it's a real solid mounting. And what's good is it protects your shock caps. And like in my other Baja here, it's all scratched up there, so you can see it's definitely a worthwhile piece. So yeah, and then another Turtle Racing piece is the Turtle Racing steering servo saver, and that's this piece. And this is a really nice high quality piece. Gives a nice smooth action to your servo saver, excuse me, and it's on bearings, and you can see in there's a nice big spring. So that's actually your servo saver, is the spring. And one of my other Bajas, I'd actually run it so much I wore out the spring. got all loose, so I had to replace that. But that's fine. I mean, it's a it's designed like that. It's a serviceable piece. So that's a really nice piece. The stock servo saver is just, it'll work for a little while, but it's plastic, and it's just, to do yourself a favor and get something a lot better. I mean, if you're really going to be running Bajas. But anyway, so, and then let's see. All right, so a Gabe Brown Engineering engine brace. That's this little piece right here. You can see GBE on there. I have a few of them, and I never ran one, so decided to install it in this one. And it's pretty easy, just a screw on the bottom. There's one that goes through here, which is recessed, and then just the top screw. So that's a nice little piece. And let's see, so the Team Chase rear shock tower. So that's this side and this side. And what's nice about that is it has lock nuts, top and bottom, for the screws, so they're held in real well. They're not just threaded into plastic like the stock setup. And they're real heavy duty and beefy, so they give a lot of strength and take out some of the flex and weakness out of the stock parts. And these are the stock ones here. So I mean, these are all good still, you know, but they're just not as heavy duty at all. So, but I mean, they'll work, you know. They'll definitely work for you. And so let's see. Oh, and then the Turtle Racing, the front shock mount tower. And so that's this again, same as the rear. It does a nice job of protecting the shock caps. And you see this one is tied into, it's actually the whole brace itself, so it's a real heavy duty piece and gives a lot of strength to the front. So that's definitely a good piece. And so let's see, so where did I leave off? So I'll just go over a couple future upgrades. A DDM fan cover, which is this right here. This is a good piece. I mean, it's not mandatory or anything at all. I mean, the stock one will work right there. You know, I've had some stress cracks develop in you know, the DDM aftermarket as well, the stock one. So, but that's fine. And but I mean, that's after running a lot, obviously. And let's see, a Turtle Racing V2 pull start. And that's this piece right here. And this is nice because it has a really comfortable handle. And two, it actually has a cable instead of a rope. So that's, I mean, everybody knows with the stock pull starts how they break and wear out and stuff. And if you were to use this, what you have to do is you have to take off the nut off your flywheel or crankshaft. And you thread this on and tighten it down, and then this is going to mount. Where'd that go? Whoops, there it is. This is going to mount on there with a little flathead screw, just like that. And then you just pop your pull start on top of that. The only minor drawback to this, and it's not really a drawback because all the benefits outweigh it, but this is spinning with the crank and the flywheel, so it's going to add a little bit of weight, but that's really no big deal. And so let's see, what else did I have here? Oh, IRP steering links. I don't know, I've had these for quite a while and just never installed them on anything. And they're nice, they're real heavy duty. The only drawback is they're a little bit heavy. And my Baja is getting a little heavy anyway with all these upgrades in aluminum. And I mean, I've never really had any trouble with the stock arms links, other than some slop developing in the ball ends. But I mean, you can always just replace those pieces anyway. So, I mean, it's not like that's mandatory, but you know, I know a lot of people like them, and doing adjustments with them is really nice and easy too. So, and what I'm also going to do is install a 3 or 4 line fuel tank fill system. Because you can't really get to the gas cap, I think, too well with the cage. I mean, I haven't run it, so I can't say for certain. But one of my other Bajas, I use a 3-line system, and I use that little can with the pump and a little fitting. And what you can do is if you run another line in to just use as a fill line, then you can route it wherever you want with a plug on it. And what you can do is you can take this vent purge line and you can tap into it with a T-fitting. And you can use that to vent it when you're filling with the other line. But what you have to do is you have to make sure that this line only goes in through the top and it doesn't get submerged in the fuel, because if you do that, when you're filling it, all you're going to do is push fuel out of the line. And what you want to use it for is to vent air out as you fill it. So that's something I'm going to look into doing soon. But I mean, I'll run it like this for now. Let's see, I'm going to get a different exhaust in there, maybe a CPI pipe or something that I have. But for now, it'll just be the stock 5T can. And like I had mentioned, which is right there. And that's a nice can. I mean, it works well, you know, decent performance. And like I mentioned in the first video, it comes with the old style Baja can. It's not this 5T or 5SC can, so that's one thing about it. And I'm just going to skip saying about the arms, and then I just have to install the Dark Soul front axle extenders, which are going to go there. So those are the stock ones, obviously, but I have them on the rear. So, and what you can see is I have these Hostel adjustable hubs. These are the 5SC style, so I have the 1 degree toe inserts in, so 1 degree on there. And as far as the arms, I'm just running the stock arms for now, which will be alright. But in the future, I'll put either RPM arms, which are real nice and heavy duty, or Kraken extended suspension arms, and that's these. This is a kit of the front and the rear, and I don't even know if they make this anymore, but I think they might not. But I have a second kit, and I'm running it on this Baja, but I only have the extended arms installed on the back. And they give an extra inch per side, and you know, obviously you have to run the longer dog bones. That's fine, but it's nice. I mean, it adds a lot of stability. And I just started off with the rear and just never bothered putting them on the front. So, but you can see how they're definitely wider. And in the past, I mean, not for probably 5 or 6 years, I ran the FLM aluminum extended arm set. And that's a nice set too. I think they might not even make that anymore. Again, I'm not sure. But it added some weight. And then I just wanted to lighten it up, and then I went back to the stock, or rather the RPM arms. But be too bad if Kraken doesn't make the extended ones anymore. That would be too bad. But anyway, so yeah, I mean, I think I covered everything for now. And what I want to do is just show you the kill switch. And I have it on the third channel here, and I have the buzzer option. And what I mentioned in the last video is I was running with some guys like maybe 2 months ago, and a car got away from the guy, and it just took off and it hit the weeds, and it was just screaming until they got there. So, I mean, you know that can't be good for the engine and everything else. But and I didn't mention in my last video, but I actually had 2 servo failures. My steering servo failed once, and the throttle brake gave out, and that was at full throttle. And I was running on the beach, you know, not far from the ocean, so the kill switch definitely came in handy. So be smart and get a kill switch. First thing you should buy with the 5th scale. And so I'm just going to show you how it goes on this. Let me turn this on. This is a Futaba 3PM MX, and I'm just going to turn the Baja on here. So get that on. So you can see here, got the endpoint set pretty good on the steering, and same with the throttle and brake. So that's just good like that there. And I'll just have to put the screw in there and snug down the collars, and I just got to do that after I adjust the idle and stuff and run it. But anyway, so about the kill switch. So this is the 3rd channel, and I have the buzzer option so you can hear it when you turn it on. So that's your kill switch, and then you can just turn it back off. And if your battery goes low, or if it goes out of range, or you just want to shut it off if something goes wrong, you lose a linkage or a servo or something, it's really good. It's just a really good investment. And you know, it makes shutting down the Baja easier too, because you just pull it up next to you and you hit your kill switch and boom, it shuts off. So, you know, you can look cool in front of all your friends too and just, you know, shut it down when you're not even near it, rather than having to go in there and press the button. But anyway, so let's see, what else did I want to mention here? Oh, so about these shock caps, these are Team Fast Eddie bleeder caps, and I just happen to have these, a set of 4 black ones, and I've never installed the black ones before, but I think the color combo came out nice, because on this Baja, the adjustment collars are black, or, well, yeah, they're pretty much black color, I'd say, and just kind of matches nicely, I think, and it looks good with the orange shocks spring covers, and then the silver shock mounts. So, you know, I didn't really plan it like that, just kind of turned out like that. So, I mean, I don't really go crazy about color combinations and all that, but, you know, it's nice if it, and you know, turns out nice. So, and so what was I going to say about that? Yeah, so I think I'm pretty much about 90% there, and hopefully I'll have this running soon. Kind of have some tight weekends, so but I'll get this thing tearing up the pavement and slinging some sand soon. And this is the other Baja. Oh, I was just going to mention, this is kind of an aside, but this is a Harbor Freight. It's an impact drill, and it's just a hex size, so I use this 1/2 inch adapter with a 24mm socket, and it's really good to run the wheel nuts on and off, because I mean, I'm always putting tires on and off, and it's really convenient. I mean, you could do it by hand, of course, but that's one little benefit with that. And I think it was only like 40 bucks or something. So I guess the last thing I'll say is, and I mentioned this in the prior video, is about Dave's Discount Motors in Utah, because they carry all these Baja parts and a lot of 5th scale stuff. I mean, I'm not familiar with the other brands, but I know they carry FGs and some other brands. So yeah, so if you're interested in the and all these parts that I put in, I'm gonna link up that link in the description. And so anyway, yeah, that's it for now. There it is. All right.